Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm YouTube famous now. And a couple days ago, I posted a video. I posted many videos. I posted a photograph on Instagram a couple days ago, asking you guys for questions in the comment section, and I said, I'm gonna do a Q&A, blah, 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 whatever. And the reason I did this was because I had asked on Snapchat, I was like, give me some suggestions for videos, and so many people were like, do a Q&A, do a Q&A, do a Q&A, and I was like, okay, I'll do a Q&A. So, I put a picture up, and I'm just gonna go through the questions. I haven't read any of them, so I'm just gonna start with the first question, and I'm gonna go down all the way through, and as many as I get to is as many questions as I guess I'll answer. Oh my God, are you guys so excited? It is so beautiful in Indianapolis today. Let me just tell you, first of all. It is like 67, 68 degrees. 67, yeah. It's totally sunny outside. I mean, it feels like early spring. It is so nice outside, and it's Friday, and I was like, it was totally reminding me of like being in high school on like a Friday when you're like making plans with your friends, like right after you get off high school. Why am I stumbling over my words today? Getting out of school. And I was like so excited about it, and I was like, I want this weekend to be like an old-fashioned, like how I was in high school, like read a book that I get really into over the weekend and hang out with my friends and sleep in and have some great food. My husband and I are gonna go on a dinner date tonight and just do some really fun stuff and have a really fun weekend, so I'm so excited about this. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend too. All right, first question by XX Little Julie XX is, have you ever had feelings for the opposite sex? I have, actually. I had a huge crush on a girl in high school, and I ended up dating her. We dated for like a year. Nothing happened between us, and interestingly enough, she came out at the same time that I did. Neither one of us, I don't think, really knew that the other person was gay, even, I don't know. But, and she has actually been with her partner now since like college, and they have adopted a child, and they seem very, very happy together. So, but she was like really the only one, I mean, except for like in elementary school, I would have like crushes on girls, and I actually found this journal that I kept from when I was like in like 3rd grade, and it was like, I used to have a crush on Denise, now I have a crush on Christy. It was like so funny. But anyway, all right, and then she also asked for tips for a successful marriage. Tips for a successful marriage that I think successful means that you're still together and that you're happy and that you're, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions of what a successful relationship is like on YouTube, because I think a lot of people get on camera and it's like, oh, we're so happy, I mean, like, that's not realistic to me. It just isn't. And even though I like watching some of those videos because I think it's fun to watch fun couples, I often wonder what happens when you turn the camera off. So I think being very honest with each other about your feelings, allowing the other person to talk and be an active listener, I think is important. Owning your shit as far as doing something wrong, I think is huge. Learning each other's communication and love languages, I think, is vital. If you are in a marriage or a relationship, read the book, The 5 Love Languages. I swear by this book, okay? And identify what each of your love languages are. Read it together. Alex and I read it together, and it really helped a lot. I think lots and lots of sex is really important in a marriage and in a relationship. And I think treating the other person the way that you want to be treated, you know? I think those things are all important in a marriage. And giving each other your independence too. Like, that is one thing that I didn't do with Alex. Like, wherever he went, I went, like our first couple years together. And like now, like, we each have our own independence and our own lives a little bit separate from each other. And I think that's super important. Noah asked, what would your drag queen name be? This is so funny because back in the day, my friends and I used to joke about that. And I always said that I wanted my name to be Dieta Pepsi, but there actually is a Dieta Pepsi. And so I think, like, then I joked when, like, I was, like, when I was still an active drug addict, I would say that I wanted my name to be Vicky Den, like Vicodin. I don't know what my drag name would be today. I think, to be honest with you, like, if I did drag, like, I would want to be very realistic looking. And so it would be some name like, I don't know, Sarah Swan or something. Anyway, love you, Peter. You make my life a little brighter. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Okay, Corio Taro asks, would you ever do a meetup in Indiana? Absolutely. And maybe at a bookstore? Sure. My fear is that, like, I'm going to show up to do a meetup and there will be nobody there, right? I mean, it's not like I'm this huge YouTuber, right? So it's like if I show up and, like, 2 people show up, I'm like, well, this is kind of embarrassing, right? Loser town. So anyway, that's kind of what my fear is a little bit. I think if I do a meetup, it'll be probably more like, okay, I'm going to the casino tonight. Anybody who wants to meet me, come there. You'll find me on the 7th, okay? Morgan Gillespie asks, okay, just snapped you, LOL, but here are my questions. What's the political climate where you live? So I live in Indiana, which is, our former governor is Vice President Pence. I think it's a very conservative climate here. I would say conservative, economically, but very liberal to some degree. I mean, with the people that I'm around, you know, liberal when it comes to issues. Like, Alex and I don't really face a whole lot of problems being a gay couple in Indianapolis. Now, do I think that, like, in more rural areas of Indiana, it's probably different? Absolutely. But, I mean, politically here, it feels very safe. Let's see. What are your husband's views as a gay man of color? I don't want to speak for Alex on that. You know, we have lots of conversations about it. It's interesting because years ago we did, on another channel, we did our It Gets Better videos, and I had encouraged Alex to do his all in Spanish. Because I was like, you know, like if you do yours in Spanish, Alex, I think there are a lot of like Latino, you know, young gay guys out there that would really relate to your story and your coming out story and things like that. And so he did, and it actually got picked up by Telemundo International, and they did like 10 videos of like 10 Latino men and women that like, or that like told their stories, and Alex's was one of them. So that was really cool. If you were the president's life coach, how would you handle his case? I don't know. I have a feeling that our president probably would not seek out a life coach because I don't know that he thinks he has anything he needs to work on. Okay, Haley Bird asked, do you ever have that weird feeling in your stomach when you're not sure if you're happy, horny, or need to poop? I kind of usually know the difference. Amir Funk asked, if you were a doctor, what would you specialize in? This is really funny because if you guys don't know, my dad is a plastic and reconstructive surgeon. And so I've been around that my entire life. My dad worked very, very long hours. I mean, when I was growing up, my dad was like out of the house at like 5 o'clock in the morning and sometimes didn't come home till 8 or 9 at night. I should do a whole video about this because, you know, like people, when I say that my dad's a plastic surgeon, they're like, oh, like really? Like, oh. But like for me, it was like going to, like if I was with my dad on the weekends because my parents got divorced when I was very young, you know, it would be like him getting paged at 2 o'clock in the morning and we had to go to the emergency room so he could sew up somebody's hand that got in a bar fight with a beer bottle, you know, like, and he actually focused on hand reconstruction. He encouraged me not to be a doctor. My dad was like, the life of medicine, you're married to medicine, your family suffers, you know, like, yes, you get to have a lot of nice financial things, and you get take a lot of nice trips, but you're never there. My dad one time said to me, he goes, I probably would have served you better as a father had I been a plumber and I got to come home at 5 o'clock. But do plumbers really? I mean, they probably work overtime too. But if I was gonna be a doctor, I think, like, for a long time I thought, well, maybe I'll go into psychiatry. I don't know. Like, having grown up so much around ER, or around emergency rooms, like, ER medicine is very attractive to me. So, and they're on, like, 24/48, and then they're off for, like, 2 days. Okay, Jay Momoa asked, if you could do a book read with one celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be, and what might you read? Oh, my God. I would love to do a book read with Oprah Winfrey, and I would love to do, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. Okay, Megan Andian, crunchy or puffy Cheetos? Neither, I hate Cheetos. Lawsberger, can you give us tips for how to deal with parental relationships in which the child plays the role of the parent, and how to deal with that leading into adulthood? All my life I've seemed like the mother to my mother and would love to know how to either switch that around or understanding the psychology of it more. Thanks, Peter. Much love. I mean, that's like a whole video by itself, but thank you for the question, dear. It's so funny because when I watch other Q&As like Gigi Gorgeous and people, they're like, what's your favorite perfume? Well, what's your favorite bag? And I get like these deep questions, right? I don't know what to tell you. I think it's really hard. I think it's important to set limits and boundaries. I will tell you this. My mom got sober 6 months after I did. you know, a couple years later, she still was very unhappy, even though she was sober. And I will never forget, I had a conversation with her one day, and she was like, you haven't been over here a lot, blah, 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 whatever. And at that point, I am talking so fast in this video. I was working like 60 hours a week between like, you know, a private practice and working in a treatment facility. I was in a relationship. I was all this kind of stuff. And I was so worn out all the time. And I looked at her and I go, Mom, and she was like, you don't care about me. I was like, I am not responsible for your happiness. I was like, where did that come from? And then I looked at her and she goes, what did you say to me? And I go, I'm not responsible for your happiness, Mom. And she goes, do I make you feel that way? And I go, yeah, like, I can't be responsible for your happiness. And, you know, when my mom got sober, roles started to switch, and I did get to have the mother that I wanted to have. Like, I wanted the mother that was the mother, that took care of business, and I didn't have to be the parent. So that was awesome. So I think it's looking at the relationship and not being afraid to set limits and boundaries. Okay, Maddie Martin, who is the first YouTuber you ever watched? Chris Crocker, hands down, first YouTuber I ever watched. I used to watch him religiously, his vlogs, his short videos with his grandma in the kitchen. I think he is so just innately hilarious. Gigi Gorgeous is probably one of the next ones that I watch like religiously. I mean, I remember when she posted the video of being like 14 years old and doing the makeup tutorial, and it was all fast forward. That was like one of my very first videos. Okay, MCVO, why don't you cook even easy basic meals? Have you considered taking a course? It might be fun, and basic cooking is really not so difficult. It might help you lose weight, and you might be the next big celebrity chef. Additional channel for you. I have cooked, okay? Like, I mean, it's not like I can't follow a recipe and whatever. I don't enjoy it. I'm not real big at 44 years old on doing things I don't enjoy. I kind of know at this point, like, things I do enjoy and things I don't enjoy. I do think in today's time it's just as easy to eat healthy and lose weight eating out as it is not. Plus, at the end of the day, honestly, like for Alex and I, like we're gonna go on a date here in just a little bit, a dinner date. It's like we don't see each other that much through the week. So for us to go out to dinner and have like an hour and a half, 2 hours just to sit across from a table, phones away, and, you know, talk to each other and not have to worry about cooking the meal. And people would be like, well, then you could cook a meal together. But we don't enjoy it. Like, one of us cooks and the other one sits there and waits. So, I don't know. I just don't love it. I have thought it would be fun to take a class. Actually, like a sushi rolling class I thought would be really fun. I will also say this. The healthiest I've ever been in my life was when I was a vegetarian. I was running 5 to 10 miles a day, and I was lifting 3 to 4 days a week. And I ate out every night. So, I don't know that I necessarily agree that you have to not eat out to be healthy. That's just my 2 cents. What celebrities, dead or alive, would you want at a dinner party? Not YouTubers. Big love from Wales. Hey, Olivia Liu, 24. Harper Lee, the writer. Oprah. I mean, I want people that are going to lift me up, but I also want some people that are funny, like Melissa McCarthy, Sandra Bernhard. I am a diehard Sandra Bernhard fan. Who else would I want? I don't know. Zach Galifianakis. I think he's hilarious. Tina Fey, John Green, the writer. I mean, so many people. Naomi Campbell. I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on. Okay. Olga, I pronounced your name wrong. I apologize. I just saw that you commented about this on my video. What would you be if you were an animal? I'm just going to go with the first thing that comes to my mind. I would be a tiger. A color, blue. A food, pizza rolls. A plant, a fern, a book. I don't know why this came to my mind, but This Much I Know Is True by Wally Lamb. And a movie, To Kill a Mockingbird. I love the innocence of that movie so much. Rusty Love 3, do you think the top 10 bad breed list, for example, pit bulls, Dobermans, etc., should still be in place, or should there be no discrimination against any breed? I really think it depends on the breeds. And actually, if you watch my videos a lot, my best friend Tanya owns a dog kennel, and it's really interesting because, like, when you talk, like, she boards pit bulls, and she's like, pits are some of the greatest dogs in the entire world. It's how you train them and how inbred they are, you know. But then, like, chows, she'll say, are like can be really aggressive dogs. Schnauzers can be really aggressive dogs. So it just depends, I think, a lot on how you train them, how inbred they are, and where they came from, and things like that. Okay, Chloe, Kimmy, how do you get out of writer's block? You just sit down and start writing. Start another story, start another book. Okay, Lauren Kilder, stupid question, but I was wondering, how old is your chihuahua? PP is 10 years old, he will be 11 in April. I know. Share with us a pet story. Well, I was going to write a book about Pee-Pee in the flying banana suit, where he put on this banana suit because he has one, and then he could fly anywhere in the world. Is that a pet story? You guys wanted like a real pet story of something that really happened. What do you think of the final season of Roseanne? My least favorite season. I've always regarded it as a television masterpiece, but I found a lot of people didn't get it. I thought she asked something here later about the last episode. Okay, so the last episode and the last 5 minutes are profound. And if you don't, and I'm going to ruin Roseanne for you if you've never seen it, okay? I am an absolute diehard Roseanne fan. So, the very last episode, Roseanne goes down to the basement, and she's sitting in the basement, and they show her writing. And if you remember from like the second season or the first season, Dan and the kids give her a writing nook to write because she wants to write a book or a TV show. I'm getting chills thinking about this. I mean, you guys, I grew up with the show. I love the show. Those characters are real people to me. Just like Lost. I'm the same way with Lost. And, I mean, I am like legit getting chills talking about this. And so, when she writes in there, she says this, that when Darlene got married, Dan had a heart attack, he didn't make it. And so she wrote her fiction in her real, God, why am I getting so emotional? Think about this. She wrote her fiction to make up for the things that she didn't want her life to be. She didn't want Dan to have died. So it was easier for her to be a woman that had lived through her husband cheating than to be a woman whose husband had died. And so the last couple of seasons are all made up. And then it goes back and she sits on the couch, and instead of their new furniture, it's the old couch that used to be there. It's a perfect ending. I love it so much. So anyway, go back and rewatch the last episode if you don't know what I'm talking about. What is your next book about? I enjoy your writing style very much. Oh, thank you, Lauren. She read my book. I just remember that you already told us a little bit about your... Okay, so I have like 3 books that I'm working on next, but the next book that I'm really working on that will probably come out next is about a woman whose life changes over a period of 30 days. I'm working on that and a young adult book simultaneously. Okay, if you were a Star Wars character, which one would you be? I have no idea. I haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies since I was 5 years old or something. Growing up, and I want to watch all of them. I want Alex and I just to spend an entire weekend watching all of them. Do not ask in the comment section below what order I want to watch them in. What that means is that you're a diehard Star Wars fan. I don't know. Tell me in what order I should watch them in, okay? Because I don't know, and everybody tells me something different. Okay, Joanne Lee, growing up, did you ever want to have a sibling? All the time. I would, true story, like with friends of mine at the pool, I would tell people, I'd be like, we're twins. And then people would be like, you are? And would like look nothing alike, right? And then my friend would be like, no. I'd be like, we're twins. I always wanted to be a twin. I wrote my characters as twins in my book. P.S. I love your videos and I love your relationship with your pets. Thank you so much. You can always tell, aw, that was so sweet. Thank you. Okay, how can I help my mom with grief? Okay, I'll do a very serious video about grief. If you could get one person committed to a mental institution, who would it be? I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know who I would have. I don't know. What would be the very first thing you'd do if you won the lottery? I would buy my condo outright and I would start traveling tomorrow. What's the best food you've ever eaten? My dad and my stepmom and I used to go to this resort in St. Martin called La Samana, and they had these like little cheese sandwiches that were cold with tomato bisque soup, and it was incredible. I don't know why, but I always remember that. Okay, I love you too. Thank you for all the, okay, this time I'm wondering about, okay, perfectionists. I'll do a video about perfectionism. What are you and Alex's pet peeves for each other, and what quirks do you guys love about, well, he's not here, so, I don't have a lot of pet peeves about him. Walking really heavy upstairs, and he says he doesn't do it. What are some unpopular opinion of yours? I did a whole video on that. If you had a time machine for just one day, would you go to the past or the future, and what would you do to see or change? That is a really good question. I think 5 years ago I would have gone to the past. I think today I would go to the future, and I think I would go like 20 years in the future. But I'd kind of be scared to see it too. What is your favorite Dolly Parton song? Coat of Many Colors or 9 to 5. I love 9 to 5. Will you do a smash or pass video? I just did before I filmed this one. What are your pet peeves, Minnie? I'll do a whole pet peeve video again. My husband's birthday is at the end of the month. He's so romantic, and I to do something nice for him. Any suggestions? Take him on a picnic somewhere. You know, and you could do an inside picnic. I think picnics are romantic, and bring a blanket. Hint, hint. Oh, please tell us how one gets a drag mom. I don't know. I'm not a drag queen. You go up to somebody who you admire and respect, and I guess I think you ask them, will you be my drag mom and put me into drag and help me? And all that kind of stuff. Please answer my question, LOL. I've been trying you to answer me forever. I just did. So there. Ms. Mazzy May! Special attention for Ms. Mazzy May. What reality TV show would you star in? Big Brother. What would your Real Housewives tagline be? I'm Peter, and I'm saucy, but I might also be sweet. I don't know. I love their taglines. Can Boo Radley do a magazine video with you? Absolutely. If you could only have one drink for the rest of your life, would you choose Starbucks, iced coffee, or Diet Coke? I would choose Diet Coke. I love my Starbucks iced coffee, but sometimes by the end of it, like right here, I'm kind of done. I wasted my money a little bit. So anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope you love that Q&A. I love doing Q&As. They're so much fun. I'll probably do one in another couple weeks. Yeah, and I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I am trying to turn this channel a little bit over to my Peter Vlogs channel, which I hope at some point to start making my main channel. So if you guys could go follow it, it's linked below. It would really mean the world to me. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. I love you. Bye. That didn't turn off.